Yeah, Noah. So you guys are going to be wondering, why is it all zoomed up on Noah right now? Well, two things. One, Noah's in town, so highlight Noah. Two, Noah's got a fight, and it's also called the Coach's Coffee Corner. That's a corner. I'm in the other corner. I'm also transparently like setting up a bunch of stuff, but we're bringing back the podcast, y'all. So this is like a test run of that. Also, shout out right next to Noah is RDX. Again, hooked up a bunch of awesome training equipment. We're going to be like, honestly, today's kind of a recovery mobility day. So we'll do some things that aren't super hard, just get some blood flow. And then also being able to go through a bunch of products that we have. We're going to be hitting, Noah's going to share a lot of his story. I want to say a lot of his story. I mean, I want to get a little bit of background on like training, what's going down, building up to camp. Stover is going to get here, one of the other guys that competed last weekend. We're going to hear a little bit about his. And then we're also going to go in, if you guys hang all the way to the end, there's going to be a giveaway. So I got a bonus for you guys hanging out all the way to the end of it, which I've highlighted actually right now in the carousel. You guys are watching on Amazon. It is the LOF slow cooker recipe packs. I got 25 of my favorite slow cooker recipes. You guys get absolutely free. And also you're gonna notice the new office, y'all. So I'm gonna zoom back out. We're gonna kind of pull it back over here. I'm also gonna let you guys kind of bring it around to me. Watch. Ooh, get a little tour, Oh, what's up, y'all? So what I'm trying to do here, check, as I not knock over the camera, is navigate a combination of, see if my gesture, we're gonna bring it up a little bit, lock it on, and not. There we go. Look at that. So we got that, but I didn't want to turn the camera off. So we're going to find this balancing act here. We're just pushing in like this. Find it like that. Phone's not turning off. I don't know. We'll see. This could get a little sketchy. But with that being said, guys, again, I want to highlight, we got the book. We're going to go over a bunch of products. We also got shout out to Only What You Need. Hooked us up with a bunch of protein shakes. I'm going to touch on that. We're going to touch on also, the bands are back in stock, y'all. We got the LOF resistance bands. We're going to touch on that. Also, I realized I didn't bring the bands, Noah. I messed up. Oh, you do? Dude, let's bust out the bands if you want to get them. And then we'll. Noah's on point, man. Sorry, I wasn't. You got to be ready. That's perfect. So what we'll also do is we're going to go into some mobility. And the idea here is what's really cool for everyone watching live, you guys are getting obviously this first, and what we're going to do is every single episode of the LOF podcast that we're now relaunching in September is going to be like kind of taken from these live streams. So if you want to catch it first, you want to hear first, you want to be able to interact with questions and have the live experience, hang and follow here on Amazon. And also we'll have some like kind of selected live streaming platforms like on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff. We're not going to always be live streaming on all of these. I'm kind of experimenting, if I'm being honest with you guys right now, about how that's going to look, how you guys like it, what the response is. Let me see how our audio sounds. Okay, good. Audio is good. So again, share feedback, let us know. And then if you do happen to miss the live stream, we're going to take this entire live stream up and chop it up into a podcast. We're going to just make a bunch of great content out of it. So again, we're constantly leveling up for you guys. You're going to see I'm going to keep a little sponsored space right here for the products that we have. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys because slowly but surely we're able to continue to grow this, be in the new office, and a lot of things that are going to come from it. And speaking of which, we also have, speaking of other opportunity or products, we got D-Moose also is another sponsor of ours that hooked us up with a bunch of stuff we're going to break down. D-Moose Fitness, again, Only What You Need. We got a variety pack from them. We got T-Chino, which is over here. We've got our C4 from Celery Core, which I'm actually going to throw in. Even though technically I'm not getting a hard workout in, I do want to get a little bit of that energy kind of boost. It's right towards that point where it's like last time I was taking caffeine for the day. And we're going to be, just holding it down while I have a daddy-daughter's weekend. Ashley's in New York, so holding it down with the kids. My mom's obviously watching the kids right now. She's in town as well. So, all right, with that being said, the other aspect to this style of streaming is not only like kind of just talking about the products, but giving you guys value. And each podcast, we're going to have a theme or talking point. We wanted to start with back to school as like a fitness theme. And what I wanted to do with that is talk about how getting back into the routine of school, if you guys have kids, you know, obviously kids are going to be starting up school soon if they haven't started already. So that's going to be like, hey, I need supplies, things like that. Also for you as the parent, what are some things that you can have if you're traveling for your kids? What are some essential resources? And for actually those going back to school, maybe you're going back to college or you're an adult going back for your math, whatever's going on, we have resources for that. And speaking of which, Noah's back with the band. And that's one of the first things I'd like to highlight. I actually put together an entire curated ideas list for back to school. So I'm going to see if I can screen share with you, because I'm like actually using 2 different computers at the moment. So you guys are going to see me look all over the place, but that's part of the fun. And also notice Coach's Coffee Corner. I got the other side of the place has a corner here as well. We're going to hold it down. We're going to dress it up too as we go throughout it. So let's get a little screen share, and I'm going to pull up again the Amazon shop. In case you guys aren't familiar, that I have an entire storefront. If you just happen to watch the live streams, I have an entire storefront here on Amazon. You can follow it right here, and the link will be below wherever you're watching this. And one of the things I do is I create idea lists for you guys. So whether it's like when I have a client start, I send them my coaching starter section, like, hey, here's products I recommend getting started with. Lifestyle of fitness, just like different products we have. So for example, we have bands, we have books, we have a barbecue book out for the summer. The bands are back in stock. That's one of the things I wanted to highlight with you. And then also a cool thing we give away with the bands, every person that orders a set of bands gets a 4-week workout program and free access to our app. And then I also wanted to highlight, I made, oh, what's up, Chris? I made the slow cooker recipe pack free for today only. So for today, as like the first stream for going back live, I want to share with you guys joining in. You can get it absolutely free right now. Otherwise, it's going to go up to $2.99 again pretty much after that. And then the paperback you can constantly get is available as well. So I wanted to highlight that with you guys. And I realized, oops, it's on the wrong screen. Let's bring it back over here. Oh, it's just a little delayed. All right, so I'm going to stop the screen share. We're going to bring it over here. No, we're going to get rocking too. I'm going to highlight the bands. Well, also after you do the bands, we're going to get into like, let me highlight really quickly actually. Got so much cool stuff though. So much cool stuff. I was kind of talking about like back to school stuff. So whether it's the dry erase calendar, I have some content we're going to be rolling out with that. You're probably going to need a journal or a notebook. Got you covered with Mr. Pen. And then also shout out to Microsoft. A lot, I feel like, no, when you were going to school, did you ever like have like a tablet or a laptop or anything assigned to you from the school?
Not assigned to me. I had my own laptop too.
But you did? Because like,
yeah,
I thought
they didn't provide them. I think they probably do have, stuff they can provide you. When I went to high school, I had like a tablet, like a Chromebook.
Ooh, they hooked it up?
Yeah, they give you like a little, because everything you did after a certain point, they switched, from that old school teacher.
Yeah.
To like Google Classroom, and all your assignments that you put in on there.
That's why I'm asking, dude, because I missed that wave. But now, even with like the Microsoft, notepads or like the Surface Pro or things like this, this is something that's apparently showing up more and more in the schools. Oh, what's up, Grace? Hey, how you doing? And just having the accessories for it. So I was kind of curious because that's like been new to me, but I think it's just awesome. So needless to say, yeah, I wanted to highlight, we got the Instapot. We also got the crock pot for you guys as well for the slow cooker. So I thought going into the fall now, that's one of my favorite things in the morning is like setting it and then letting it like smell, like fill up the house with that delicious smell and coming home at the end of the day and like your food's ready. You don't have to do anything. It is absolutely clutch. But I'm going to highlight actually the CelluCore C4 really quick. So have you done or tried C4 before?
Yeah,
like they had their original recipe. They've changed it since, but like curious if you've tried it.
I've tried it. I don't know if I've tried the original. I've had like the blue raspberry.
Oh, the blue raspberry Fuego. All right, so what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna bring my laptop. I'm gonna try and see if I can turn the gesture controls on again. There we go. So it's gonna be so much easier to navigate my laptop with it like this. I'm kind of worried that, yeah, there we go. It's gonna shut off. But okay. Reason we're doing this, y'all, is so that, oh, this is perfect. Look, I'm gonna freeze it right here. Boom. And we're gonna zoom in a little bit. Look at this gesture control, by the way. I don't even have the OBS bot in the carousel today, which I probably should, just because I use it so much, but we're just playing with, so you can gesture control. But I just want it to come up just a little bit. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, so perfect. All right. All right, so what we're gonna do is, let's break down. So I'm gonna give you the 3 things I look for in a pre-workout. One is the effectiveness. That's obviously going to be one of the most important things, right? Like how effective is the actual product? 2, what is the actual like safety or like overall impact on our quality of life, right? Like, what are the ingredients effective, but they're also like extremely damaging and taxing? Like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And then number 3, what is the cost or price point on it? Because obviously it can be all great and all good, but if you can't even afford it, not really doing us any good on that. So number 1, when we talk about the effectiveness, honestly, there's a few things in this that make it effective that I like. One, this is, I'm curious if you ever noticed when you take pre-workout, you ever feel tingles? You know what I'm talking about? Yes. So that's the beta-alanine ingredient, right? So, yeah. And part of it is, honestly, there is like a performance component to it, but a lot of it can also be your just mind, like the psychology. Ooh, I feel something. That's like a big psychological trick. So I don't say that to say, hey, this is bad. Just know when you're feeling those like tingles, there is like a component to it that's helping performance, but a lot of it's the psychology. You can see you got about 30 scoops here, so you got a month's worth if you're working out every single day, which hopefully you're not. Really probably shouldn't be doing that. And then, oh, what's up, Vicky? Hey, hey. And again, 1 scoop is a serving. You got 30 servings per container. The other component I like to look at is, like, again, the stimulus component of it. This has got, let's look at the caffeine intake. It also has a gram of creatine. So honestly, you're probably going to be hopefully supplementing with creatine as well, anywhere from 3 to 5 grams pre-post workout. And this varies from person to person and like what you need, but like relatively in that range, you should be good. And then it looks like for our caffeine, we're at about 150 milligrams, and then we have about 65 milligrams of additional, like their explosive energy blend is what they call it. So when I look at that, I look at it like, is there anything outrageous in here? And then also one of the things you could do is just do your homework with like looking up the brand. Do they have any reports? Like if you go to quackwatch.org, for example, you can see if any company's ever had any like liability issue or lawsuit or like any kind of misalignment of what was in it. And if you go to the FDA's website, they obviously don't check all of this and approve it, but they will have anything flagged on there as well. And then what are your thoughts about Gatorade? Ooh, my soccer coach hates when I drink it. So if you might have noticed right here, I have Gatorade Zero. Now, transparently, I'm not a huge Gatorade, Powerade, like those types of things fan. I feel like there's better options, honestly, whether it's, and we got to think about why are we doing it, right? Are we doing it for the electrolyte benefit? Are we doing it for the energy benefit, meaning we're trying to get in simple carbs? Or are we doing it for the fluid benefit? So all those factors combined, like we're doing it for just straight up sugar to have energy for like an immediate exercise, Gatorade, okay, like all those things, sure. You could also just probably have, sorry, I just have notification. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. You should probably look at maybe some potential other options like honey, for example. That's natural. The only reason I say that is when you start to have processed items or you start to have to go through a long manufacturing process, it can just kind of overcomplicate things. I think it's the easiest, simplest way to put that. So hopefully that helps, by the way, Grace. But I would say, listen, at the end of the day, your coach is one thing, right? Like a skill coach has one set of skills, like your soccer coach, right? Are they a nutritionist as well? I would be very hesitant to take on like a coach's input on something that's not their expertise. That's why I try to be very mindful of my scope and like where I can give insight. Like I'm not a jiu-jitsu coach, so I'm not going to go tell someone how they're supposed to be training in jiu-jitsu. However, I am a strength conditioning coach, so I may start to look at, okay, here's how we want to train our strength conditioning to impact your jiu-jitsu. So like that, just keep that in mind. Hopefully that helps. All right. With that being said, we're going to go all the way back to the bands here, Noah, and we're going to get you mobiled up a little bit. And I'm going to use kind of like the control central over here. We're going to unlock, boom. And now I'm going to manually bring this camera over with my hand, and then we're going to dial it in with the gimbal control. So we're going to lock it onto you, homie. So pretty much going to keep it locked. I'm going to play with a little bit of the spacing just from the lighting. I also notice some of the lighting here is a little bright in certain areas. So you guys give me feedback on that as well. We're going to line you up right in here. Actually, maybe I'll line you up with the closet. And the reason I say that is I'll open up the closet because we got a bunch of awesome supplements in there as well. Eventually, I'm going to want to show. So with that being said, I'm going to come around. We're going to go through some mobility drills and exercises. This is something all of you can do at home. And this is something we actually have in our resistance band program that you get free access to when you buy these bands. So I'm going to step back a little bit just to make sure I'm in the shot perfect and not messing it up. So we're going to go through basically like our mobility drills before we exercise. So first forwards and backwards. We'll do that for a minute. Okay, so I'll set a timer on my watch. And I'll count you down in 3, 2. We're just going to go forwards and so straight arm, just shoulder dislocates. And we'll do that with the band.
Oh, with the band?
Yeah, gotcha. And I want you to, you don't even worry about anchoring your feet. You're just gonna hold them. It's like hold, just like bring it off your feet. Here, I'll just, yeah. And then widen your hands. Perfect, good. Now you're gonna go from hip, front of your hip to your butt, basically. Yep. All the way back, all the way back, all the way back. Good. Now come back the way you came. Perfect. We're gonna do that for 1 minute. There we go. So again, and you can even see, so like, and Noah, you can, I'm curious actually, give me some of your thoughts. What's your experience been like using the bands? Because you've had them for months now.
Yeah, really good, especially for my rotator cuff, because I'm having rotator cuff issues.
Yeah.
And like, just the mobility just helps with the strength, overall strength, and like just being able to like I was having trouble just keeping my hands up, like just because like it would get tired, my shoulder would get tired, and then like doing like just like you said, a couple months, man. Like
yeah.
I'm good now, like my shoulder's straight.
Oh yeah.
So it's been positive.
About 15 more seconds. So, and just to give you guys context, in case you missed it earlier, just joining into the stream, Noah has an MMA fight coming up September 16th, right? And he's also like just been a jiu-jitsu practitioner, also engaging in his striking and preparing for this. And just in general, like what I've noticed from my experience in martial arts is there's always going to be a chronic component to your body and injury risk and time. So now we're going to take a similar kind of mechanic here. So we're going to keep our arms in that same position. Instead of going straight back, we're going to bring our right arm. Oh, do you mind if I just borrow the band actually really quick? Because I feel like the demonstration becomes really helpful so you can see the tension in this too. A lot of times I think people take for granted the tension of the band and how we want to leverage that. So it's kind of coming over the top. Notice there's still tension. I'm not like slacking the arm tension, bringing it over, and then back to the hip, and then we'll go back to where it came. And if you're feeling really good, you can go all the way back here, kind of to that first dislocate kind of a movement. This is what we would call a controlled articular rotation, or a CAR for short. That's the fun acronym. You guys will notice I love like acronyms, but it's a fancy way of saying we're lubricating this joint and getting a lot of movement in there, because the shoulder joint and the hip joint are very mobile and active. So boom, bring it back. Left arm comes overhead, boom, circle it. Now bring it into your hip. There it is, perfect. And now go back the way you came. Now go the other way. Yeah. Exactly. Hold on, I got it on the clock. I started that like 15 seconds late, so get a little bit of bonus time in there. And also, all right, I already opened up my chocolate milk, so I'll get a little quick plug. The only what you need chocolate milk. We'll get to that later. Don't you worry, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to hit a bunch of awesome products, and I have a giveaway at the end of the live stream. Awesome. And now you go back the opposite, or whichever direction you just did, you go the other way. So that's the idea here, guys. You're going to notice it's going one direction, then the opposite direction. You kind of go back and forth. And if you do have any questions on the products, there's any insight you want me to give, I'm happy to do so. Let me just pull this up, make sure the chat's good. Also, does that help, by the way, Grace? Like that insight? Wait, do I have my audio on somewhere? Yes, I do. Yes, we do right there. All right, awesome. And time. So the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do those banded pull aparts. Okay. This is where now the only thing we're gonna add a new version to it, a new aspect to it. So when I've done banded pull aparts before, especially or anyone we've ever worked with, even what you'll see in the app, what we've been working on is kind of staying at like a 45-degree angle and pulling it into our chest, which is we're still gonna do, but now we're gonna start from down, pull it up, come up to parallel, pull, come up to 45. So it's basically you're just incrementally going up about 15 degrees. Yeah, and each time you're pulling it apart. So you're straight overhead, pull it apart, and then we go back the way we came, pull it apart. We're just gonna go back and forth for 1 minute. So you're gonna kind of get a nice groove and a nice cycle going. All right, ready? I'll start you on the clock. Let's rock this bad boy. Exactly, good. Bring it up, good. Boom, good. And each time I want you to hit and bring it into your chest and really pull your shoulder blades back, like pinch my finger, your shoulder. There you go. And that's the cue, guys. I'll be transparent with you. If you're asking the question, is having an in-person trainer the same as having a virtual trainer? It is not. But as someone that's been a virtual trainer for 8 years that also does in-person training, you can learn how I just did this cue where I put my finger between his shoulder blades and said, squeeze my finger, and compare that into a virtual setting saying, okay, imagine there was a pencil between your shoulder blades and you wanted to hold it there. That's a cue you can use without me being there that gets the same response. Nice. All right, we got about 10 seconds. So keep that going. And again, I'm going to pull up to see if there's any questions. Let me keep this right over here. See if we got questions going down over here. Highlighting the RDX, or I should go back to the bands here. And again, I'm going to highlight, guys, the slow cooker and time, by the way. No, beautiful. Now we're just rest. So we'll throw the bands off to the side for a second. Take a minute. And then I want to see if you guys have questions. I'm also going to go back to the 28-day, the Lifestyle of Fitness Slow Cooker Recipe Pack, because we have that for absolutely free right now. You get it on the Kindle, hook you guys up. I want to make sure that, especially if you guys are joining, that's like kind of my bonus giveaway. And let's go into what else we got. So no, I wonder if you have, like, you can see a bunch of products here. I want you to pick, I don't even have all the RDX stuff, but I want you to pick your favorite RDX product that you see in that kind of pile over there, minus the bag. I have my bag here, but we're not even going to go into
Minus the bag?
Yeah, minus the bag. Just like either the kick shield, the boxing gloves, or the focus mitts.
And they're all great. Probably the boxing mitts.
Ooh, boxing mitts. All right, so hold on. Let me highlight that. And I'll put on the focus pads then too. We'll get a little loose. So here, throw these puppies on. We'll get some fun going down. It was a good choice. I gotta say, that was a good choice. Pick. All right, let's pull up my focus mitts and we'll do so now we're gonna do a stream it around. Again, the whole concept of this is to get you to have some blood flow into that area, but not overly trained, because we were talking about this before and you guys might have missed it. With our central nervous system, especially in a fight camp, but really any kind of training program, you don't want to overly tax your nervous system. Whether it's from resistance training and workouts, whether it's from your actual sparring training or sprint work or anything like that, you want to be very mindful how much you're taxing your nervous system and how much you allow it to recover.
So, to add on that, so,
I'm gonna come a little closer.
Last night, was sparring class for
Yep.
time. That morning I did the gauntlet, we've had rolled some pretty hard.
And the night
rounds.
before.
And there was some big dudes, pretty much all in the morning, the
Yeah.
little guys. So then, the night before, so it's like, should I go roll tonight? Probably not.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
you know what I mean? It's like, I love it. I love
Yeah.
doing it, but it's like,
Is that what's best
or
for you?
should I go hit a sauna and cold plunge? Like, what I
Exactly.
mean? And then maybe go for a run or
Just get some blood flow, even what we're doing right now, just to be able to, and it's one thing that doesn't mean you don't use your central nervous system at all or the muscles at all, because what's good about for the muscles having blood flow into said area can help circulate any byproducts that are coming out and also help work certain pathways, but we don't want to overdo it with our nervous system. Oh, what's up, Delbert? Hey. Delbert, we're hitting pads over here, man. We're working through highlighting some of the awesome RDX equipment. Shout out to RDX. So again, I have a bunch of content we're going to be rolling out as well. Yeah, Christian, come on in, Mr. Lateys. Now I get to bust his chops. Now I get to bust your chops. So good of you to show up, Christian. I know I'm a day late anyway. But I moved it from yesterday to today. But all right, so we're going to hit some pads. And you just get to watch and stand in the corner. All right. We'll just work a jab light. We're just kind of just pump through it. Good. Jab cross. Good. And we'll just kind of move a little bit. Yeah, exactly. We're just kind of moving. Boom. Jab cross. Jab. Jab. Double jab cross. Jab cross. Good. Jab cross, slip. Boom, boom. Again. Again. Bam, bam. Get those hands tight. Right hand started to drift a little bit. Again. Bam, bam. Good. And then ankle off. Nice. Double jabs. And then hook cross up. Good. Jab cross. Cover. Cross up cross. Good. Jab. Jab cross to the body. Right here on the start. Fine, yeah. Sit on that a little bit more. Boom, like a little bit of level change. Just don't crack it. Like, yes, there it is. Good again. Good, one more time. Good, then hook upstairs. Boom, good. Hook cross up. Good. Cross. Good. So you're gonna notice, and this is something I love to do no matter what your like honestly striking discipline is if you get hit, you answer back, right? So to the head, you're covering, and you're gonna get hit. Same side, hook, cross, hook. Now the philosophy for that to me is we would throw hook, cross, hook if you're turning into it, meaning the opposite direction, which is counterintuitive, right? You're like, why would I turn into it? But if we can beat the shot before it gets to its maximal force, it's like cutting it off, almost like with a kick. But, or just how you move. Now, the other way, if you roll with it, boom, or just turn your body, yeah, then it would be cross up, cross, instead of hook, cross, hook. So, exactly. So it's depending on how we move, right? If you turn into it and you're shelling, good, that's hook, cross, hook, because your hips loaded on the hook side. Vice versa, if we turn and you're here and you're loading cross up, cross, good. Or if you roll with your cross up, cross, or like turn with it as I'm throwing this, boom, then your hook, cross up. So your hips dictate, at least that's the concept. I was like, I wanted to share that with you guys, see if there's any questions or thoughts. What do you think, Gilbert? And we got about, like 1 more minute. And the whole idea is just literally get blood flow. So 15 seconds, just jab, cross, nice and light, continuous action. Jab, cross, jab. And just breathe in. So it's not super taxing, elbows are tight. Hands come back to your cheekbones every time. That's exactly it. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, time. Ooh, we're like on the dot. Beautiful. So we take these off. I just want to get a little sweat, highlight the RDX. We got a nice little bit of content out of that too. Shout out to RDX. So Christian, you getting your warm up on? What's going on over there? You look a little good. Good. Well, not good is not feeling good. So here's what I want you to do. Come over here, and we're going to go through some of whatever you're doing mobility-wise. I want it to I'll walk the people through on camera so then we can leverage that, because the theme of today, I pivoted what the original theme was. It's still covering back to school fitness, but it's also just like a little bit of active recovery and mobility work, because even getting back to training, here's what's going to happen, guys. I'm going to give you a heads up. When you go back to training, you're going to get sore. You're also going to be tempted to want to go too hard. That's just like the reality for most people. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Let's do this. Oh, zoom out even more. Okay, so we got like the whole area kind of covered, which will be good. So you'll go through the mobility, and then while he's going through that, again, I'll highlight any of the keys. We already covered this. Do you have a timer going for it, or are you kind of just doing it for reps? All right, cool. All right, so while we're doing that, I'm going to have you play with the kettlebell, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of, and this is the cool thing is people think, oh, well, kettlebell or weights are only for resistance training, which they very predominantly are. But another cool aspect with resistance is we can use it as an anchor point for mobility reasons. So for example, let's say we get down, and you don't even need a weight for this. I just find it interesting because we have the kettlebell right here. I wanted to kind of honestly just work it in for you guys. We're going to use this as a setup. So let's say you can't even touch the ground yet. Okay, we're going to hold it for about 15 seconds, 10 seconds, come up, and then you'll see we can get a little bit deeper. I'm going to imagine you can not only get to where you can grab this, but we're going to probably try and push it where it's past between your feet. And now that's really going to open up your range of motion. So I want you to start with that and see how that feels. I'm also going to highlight our yes for all kettlebell. And then I'm going to demonstrate some fun kettlebell stuff. We'll get into that. But even just for the mobility side, this is one that becomes really helpful. Yeah, exactly. And then I want you to grab what's called, so let's break down the anatomy of a kettlebell, bro. If you pass that to me. So first, just kind of hold that position louder. Let's talk about with the kettlebell, what we're looking at, okay? So for this, we call this on the sides the horns. And then you have that kind of like bridge across the gap where you're usually grabbing it, but the horns are right here on the side, which will become helpful specifically for this. So you're going to grab it at the horns, which is right here on the side, and just kind of try and see how far back can you get with that. Yeah, exactly. Now hold on to it and let that be your anchor point. Good, you're going to feel that. The goal is trying to leave it on the ground. Like let it anchor. Yeah, exactly. And feel that pull. Or maybe you don't. Yeah. All right, we got about 30 more seconds. So this is one aspect of, again, being able to use it from a mobility perspective, not just a resistance perspective. Eventually, we're going to get these York body weight and like kettlebell, dumbbell things on the wall, but for now, we're going to get that. How you feeling, Christian?
A little tired.
5 seconds now. 4, 3, 2. And there's also another great one, the D-Moose calf stretcher, which I'm going to check to see if we actually have. I might have that. We'll pull this out. So shout out to the Yes for All. And again, I'll go into some exercises in another video as well as in this one, but just stay tuned for that. And while I'm doing that, actually, speaking of it, while I get the D-Moose, check this out. This one's specifically for any kind of athlete or someone who wants to build up a strong neck from injury perspective or from combat sports especially. I'm going to use this puppy. Okay, so the cool thing about it is you don't need to be hanging or anything. It should literally, and I'll kind of show you right now. So I'm not even going to tell you how to put this on. I just want to see what happens. We're just going to see what happens intuitively. So I would like to test out from a product, how intuitive is this? Let me just kind of pull that. Oh, do I not have this one?
It's gotta be it, right?
We're going to find out, baby.
Feels freaky.
So I don't have the neck harness in here, so we're going to add that. But you guys will also see, I'm going to make videos on all this stuff, like even shoppable videos. Good job, guys. Thanks, Delbert. Appreciate you, homie. But we're just going to get into some of the D-Moose stuff. I'll get into the forearm as well. Let's see. All right, so that's exactly it. Very nice. So we'll take our kettlebell here, and now you see how you have these clips on the side? We have clips on each side. So I'm going to kind of have this kind of lock in over here. Boom, and then it'll zoom in, and now it's pulled up.
Yes, I should tighten it up.
There it is. Okay. So let's see if we can get this puppy to zoom in a little bit more. There you go. Perfect. So we're going to kind of, and I'm just going to have you face the wall so I can see the side. So see how we're kind of strapped. You don't have to worry about that too much. It's just this part right here. So this is that clip part. This is what's actually going to clip through the weight. Right? Don't clip your ears. So we're using, again, our Yes for All kettlebell right here. We're going to slide this through, and now you're about to feel weight come on. And now that literally like, just let it hang. Okay, so this is a partial benefit because his body's absorbing some of that stress. So this is where we can have him hinge forward. So what I'm gonna have you do is hinge forward by like 15 degrees, but you're gonna keep a nice straight back. That's the key component. Don't get lazy and rounded with the back. I'm gonna come over this way. I'm gonna show you guys. Now you're probably already feeling like a load. You should feel an additional load on your like neck and on your back. So the idea here is now you can tuck your chin to your chest and then lift your head as high as you can towards the ceiling. And now it's because this is anchoring down, it's providing resistance. Yeah, just see if you can look up towards the ceiling. Exactly, good. Now do that for a minute. Yeah. You're like, yeah, so this is when we go back to central nervous system, this doesn't have to be a high load on your central nervous system. It can be, depending on how long we're doing it. Like a minute, right at like 30 to 60 seconds, like a nice hypertrophy window and a stimulus window. But it can also be like neurologically taxing, but we're not using as much weight and resistance here. So this is more for like muscular endurance, getting the activation for the tissue. But you're still gonna feel it. Like you're probably still feeling it now. It's like 20 seconds. Good, Noah. Any pain, any discomfort with this?
I mean, yeah.
Now talk to me.
Not like excruciating thing.
But so no, this is a good question. There's something for like. Yeah, but this is a very key thing. It's to distinguish between pain and discomfort. Like pain is like stabbing, tingling, like that is crazy looking. Yeah, it can look a little crazy. And this is one example. There's so many different variations and versions to this. So another cool one that I'll show you guys and time. So shout out to Dr. Tony Ricci. This guy is, if you guys don't know Dr. Tony Ricci, first off, boo on you. Secondly, hold on, we're gonna leave that for a second. I'll show you guys something really cool. So we're gonna take the resistance bands. So he would do sled pulls with this. So like hook you up to the sled and just start like pulling it around. So now what I can do is I can take the bands, and we have a band is a variable resistance load, meaning it changes. and the load will come on differently. So if I wanted to make this like a higher nervous system move, I would just start yanking on this, like almost like if you have someone in the gi, you're like snapping on their lapel.
Someone's trying to
And
snap
then-
you down.
Or we can have this anchored to a beam or a rack or something, and you literally just step backwards and then slowly control yourself stepping in. So like, yeah, as it pulls, it's pulling on your neck, right? And now you slowly will control it in. And then what you can also do is if we anchor it again to whatever anchor point, you do the same thing. You can do left and right. It's kind of, if you've ever seen the iron neck that Joe Rogan's always like talking about. Shout out to Pascal Schroth, one of the most like influential fighters and coaches I've ever had to or gotten to work with. He broke his neck, like in China, didn't speak Chinese, like broke his neck, got sent to the hospital. Like he got set up pretty horribly. And he used the iron neck amongst other things to bring himself back. And because he had such a strong neck prior, he didn't become paralyzed like just by like a centimeter off. Anyways, I'm gonna take this off, but like just so you guys can kind of see the versatility to this. He's like, oh, well, I'm not trying to like get a jacked neck, and that's fine if you're not. But if you also want to prevent injury or work through an injury, if you were a physical therapist, it might be something to talk to them about or bring up in conversation. All right, so that's going back to the bands. That's also going back to the D-moves. Looks like an exercise for Hannibal Lecter. I mean, yeah. Could be Rising Sun. Definitely could be. People that he like eats people. And then we'll look at, so I'm going to give you another one. So we'll hop that off. Did you find your bands?
Yeah, I found one.
Where were they?
In my, Zoom bag.
Ah, so now you're going to get some forearm work. You did this one, right?
That one like.
So this one's going to
I felt it
surprise
all the way
you.
up to like
Yeah.
shoulders right there.
So this is actually for shoulder and forearm conditioning and rehab, like strength, all these things. So I'm going to turn the kind of motion off here real quick. I'll lock it back in. Let's actually bring it down this way. So I'm going to try and see if we can get it away from that light. That light's not the greatest. Perfect. Line it up right here. So no, I'm going to have you stay right here. What we're going to do is you're just literally going to just roll this for 1 minute. Just try and get as far as you can into flexion and extension. And just consistently keep your arms parallel. While you're doing this, notice even for me, everyone at home, like I'm going to actively keep my shoulder blades back. We're not going to protract here, which isn't the end of the world, depending on what you're focusing on, but for now we want to stay retracted. So fun fact, a little like lingo talk. And then this is, this is going to happen. And you can even kind of like rotate a bit. That's what gets the shoulders involved a bit as well. When we talk about shoulder movement, protraction is like pushing it forward, retraction, pulling it back. Protraction, retraction. Then if we talk about elevation and depression. So if you hear me say retract and depress, pull them down and back. Just as like a fun lingo chat. So now I'm going to have you face the wall just so we get a really good angle of it. And we're going to see also, exactly, what's happening here. And I'm going to set a timer. We'll do this for 1 minute. Eventually you'd work up to 2, but we'll do this for 1 to see how it feels. Then let me know what question you guys got in the chat. You know I love me some questions. I'm drinking some pre-workout right now. I'm getting hyped up.
Are you like working out?
Yeah, I'm doing like active recovery mobility, but I just want to like be hyped for it.
Timmy, so I just like to do 15 cabinets.
Yeah, I just want to be stimulated, bro. Leave me alone. Actually, no, I made a video, like I was plugging the, shout out to C4, they're a sponsor of ours. Oh, look at that. It's like you're bringing out a towel.
Yeah, exactly what it's like.
Yeah, this is after that hard work, jiu-jitsu, bring out that towel. What do you guys think? What do you think, Rising Sun? Will that help tight shoulder blades? It potentially can, but it's assuming if you're like, let's say your shoulder blades here are tight, there may be other things contributing to this, but this can also be a very helpful variable. But what I would say is get the LOF bands or whatever bands you have and do the earlier mobility work. Like even what Christian's doing right now, I'm going to pull the camera over a little bit. And time, by the way, Noah. So like you see what Christian's doing right now, we're going to pull it in on him. Perfect. So let's zoom in just a little bit. So this is another thing that can help shoulders and shoulder blades, tight shoulders, things like that. Zooming out, there it go. Zoom it back in. No. I'm like, there we go. Now let's go this hand, let's zoom it. Hold on, I gotta get closer so it sees. Come on, zoom in, baby. There it is. Christian, actually, you might have to hold it up. Christian is back. Hi, Christian. Yeah. Yeah, so you do that one. All right. So either way, I'm just going to manually zoom it in. Get into your next one. But doing all those movements, that can for sure help. How are you feeling, by the way, Noah? So again, guys, and if you have questions, we're going through just mobility and stretches today because it's been a taxing week for everyone. I just got back into like my own workout routine after lots of travel. So we're just kind of sticking to a mobility, kind of a lengthening and active recovery kind of a day. And then one of the things I'm going to show is even a heart rate monitor system that allows you to pick, because like people will talk to me, oh, well, what is active recovery? How do I know if I'm properly like utilizing that? So now we're going to go into our storage kind of closet of goodies. I got so much awesome stuff in here, you guys don't even know. So many awesome things. Like what you know about that CubeND box? Well, like mental cognitive focus. What? Oh yeah, Magic Spoon. Yeah, Magic Spoon. My snackies. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's the other thing too. It can for sure get expensive. There's proteins. Well, I got the white teeth whitening strips. If you guys want to get your teeth nice and white. Christian throwing his butt up in everyone's face. I got my tweezers. But we're specifically looking for what with shoulder pain.
No, they said their PT hasn't been the same.
Nice. Yeah, see, it's like that good old time. Here we go. This is what I was showing for you, Christian. Christian, I got you some good stuff here. Heart rate monitor.
It's probably got a timer on that too.
This is the other one, armband. Oh, so this is the armband. Hold that one though, because one was supposed to be for you to test out, and one was for 10-foot extension cord.
Waterproof.
Yeah, dude, you go swimming with that bad boy. All right, so what we're going to highlight, I actually don't know if I have this one in the carousel, so we're going to take a moment, throw it in there, and make sure we touch on it. This is another one I really wanted to touch on that was part of the whole theme with active recovery, is being able to basically measure as much as possible. And with this, having a heart rate monitor, obviously we're going to measure our heart rate. I'll stand back here just so it'll be easier to see. And let's highlight, if it is in here, we'll put it in here, and if not, I'll have to throw it in real quick, y'all, just for you guys. Boom, that's another shout out to Amazon. Look at this, how simple their Amazon lens is. I take a picture of the item, scans it for me, and it recognizes it. Oh, it's the Rhythm 24 fitness armband, the Scoche Rhythm 24. Boom, perfect. I'm going to add it. So again, if you guys haven't seen already, or if you haven't checked them out, I updated all of my ideas list. So back to school fitness, being able to have the traveler friendly stuff, coach's starter kit, like some of the things that I recommend to just getting started with, all that stuff is there. And then I'm just going to take a picture of that one really quick too, and I'll add this puppy in. I think this might just be the wristband though. That's why they get set on it. So we're going to see, y'all. Scan that barcode. And that's the other cool thing. It has also just a barcode scanner, so you guys can just scan the barcode. Armband with ANT. Oh, no word. Okay, so it's the monitor as well. So we're going to add both of these puppies in, and then we're going to do a real video on it in real time, and then you guys will actually be able to test them and give me feedback. So we're going to use these right now to basically hook them up and then actually monitor your heart rate in real time. And we're going to do basically a movement active recovery kind of activity that will help us in being able to demonstrate it and just recover for the day, which is the whole theme. First, let's see, what are we going to pop out of here? Dude, we all needed it. Even Christian texted me, was like, dude, my nervous system is smoked. I'm like, yeah, man.
Sure. Wait, the one you were wearing on?
Yeah.
I'm not going to jujitsu tonight.
No?
Maybe hit that sauna. Yeah.
Y'all love going?
I'm not going. I'm just saying he said that here.
I just know.
I'll let you guys kind of unbox it and open it. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to talk and do the voiceover.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, was that a very good class?
I should have like 12, 15.
Don't be that guy, Noah.
They make you do some work?
Well, dude, it's like sober live. Like, I just have to figure it out.
Yeah, the
How
distance.
hard. Like, I left at 11:40 and got there at 12:15. I was like, what the
See, sometimes it only takes,
So it's a half hour away.
no, but it's not though.
How far is it?
18 minutes.
Oh, and I got you a protein shake.
Amazing. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Normally it's like 18 minutes.
All right, so what we're gonna do is you guys are gonna start opening this. I'm gonna highlight. So right now I've got the one that Stover, the one you're holding is the 24-hour fitness one. So we're gonna highlight that. And there's a deal on it right now. I got a deal if you guys want to get that bonus deal in the carousel. You can see, click on that deal, save you some money. I got you back.
I got it on.
All right, so Noah's first. So we're gonna put on his, the armband, the R+2 armband and monitor. So now you got that puppy on. So let's bring it just a little bit closer. Yeah, perfect. So you can see. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow the instructions of, okay, so that, yeah, there you go. Bring it down, flex for the camera, let people know you've been working hard, cutting that body fat. So we're going to pull up this one, which is Scosche Rhythm R+2.0, so waterproof, dustproof. So I want you to, actually, you know what? I'm gonna have you back up a little bit now. I'm gonna lock it onto you. Yeah, there we go, perfect. All right, now I'm gonna unlock it. We're just gonna kind of zoom in a little bit more. There we are. You know what I'm actually gonna have you do? Can you come walk over to that closet and just close it, and I'll have you stand in front of there and I'll zoom in. This is the other cool part. You guys get to see the live behind the scenes, but now what we're doing, the reason I'm doing this is because we're going to use this also for a podcast you guys will be able to catch after being edited. So first off, Noah, you just look like a 90s rap album right now. Let's just say number one, in like the greatest way. Number two, so you throw it on. I'm curious your initial thoughts on like thumbs up or thumbs down on being able to like get it out of the box and get it on. And like transparent, like thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't want like just because they're sponsors, thumbs up. Like I want legit insight. If it's thumbs down, they want to know it too.
Dude, I mean, that took me like, I'm good. Christian seems to be struggling.
Yeah, so that's why we're gonna ask him too.
Yeah, mine was really easy, man.
So we're gonna say thumbs up because they can't hear you. So that's what I'm saying, like thumbs up, thumbs down. That's why if you ever notice with my kids, like Tesla especially, when she tries something new, she gives that thumbs up and thumbs down. So I've done videos with her about it. No, that one goes on your wrist. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't make sense.
This one just took me a while just because I'm out of it.
Christian's a little bit, you know, that goes back to central nervous system being a little slow, being a little burnt. Right, we get taxing days. All right, so now I'm going to play this for you guys, and let's look at, so the big question is, do I need to download an app? That's like the immediate question I want to know. So Noah, do you have your phone?
Yes, I do.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look up this experience, and this probably in the package that you got, it was there. So let's pull up that box. Let's check the box and see in that little brown box, is there any QR code or anything that says like, hey, here's the app, anything like that? That's like another important part of the experience. I always like to document.
Yeah, there is a QR code.
All right, so perfect. So let's have you take a picture of that QR code and see if that pulls up the app we need to download. Because that's a good piece of info. I always like to know, do I have to go searching for stuff? Am I going to be able to just like see it? How intuitive is it? And you can see Noah right here is just, whoop, nope, right on this direction, is just going through like scanning the QR code and being able to see, all right, perfect, comes with that app. If we have to pay for anything, those are things we want to know, because the cool part about this is it's going to be checking us heart rate. And if we have it in the app, we can also sync that up to the Lifestyle of Fitness app, automatically integrate. And then we can say, all right, cool, how hard are we working right now? And for active recovery reasons, we really don't want to get above 60% of your max heart rate from my experience, 65% maybe max. So that would say, if we get your heart rate, we have a good indicator of where we're at. Now, while Noah is doing that, I'm going to highlight our 24 Fitness watch. We're going to bring it on over to Christian.
Yeah, to get this set up, the QR code just brings you to their website and explains the device, but in this pamphlet, it explains to you to download
The app and how to do it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's good insight to know. So going back to Noah real quick, he was just saying, because I don't think you guys probably heard him, that in the app, with that little like manual and the QR code that it comes with, it'll have a QR code takes you to their website, which will give you some instructional stuff, but it also has a manual that'll tell you how to download the actual app itself and get it set up. So it gives you what you need. The goal, and this would be, I guess, feedback for them, is like, just make it easier, even easier. The Wahoo app is a pretty good one. It's simple. Oh, like the Whoop. Is that what you're saying, or Wahoo? I don't know about Wahoo. And then Christian's over here hooking up that 24 Fitness one. So let's see that. We'll highlight this puppy as well.
I got it all.
Trying to toit it up, toit like a toiger. So yeah, so this one's even, you could wear it forearm instead of just your wrist. It looks like it's more of like a forearm wear, less of like on your wrist like a watch. But also sweat-proof, waterproof. Seems like a great kind of option. This is why I like it can be a little bit more cost-effective than, let's say, like a smart watch itself, is because you have to worry about the screen and all that setup.
Yeah, forearm makes more sense.
Just for the feel, like how it's fitting.
Yeah.
Boom, so we're getting it on. And then same thing in your packaging.
Yeah, I'm having
All right.
trouble finding it.
So it's got QR code, and then what does it say about the app itself? Does it say like what to search for?
It says, mine just says Bluetooth.
Okay, so that's something that it may not actually even be syncing up to a separate app. I might just be assuming that there's an app. All right, so built-in, so it's built-in memory for Peloton, Wahoo, Strava, and more. So it can sync up to other apps, but it doesn't even have its own app. So I was just reading the details on it. So that's a good piece to know, and that's why you were saying Wahoo before, right, Delbert? That also makes sense.
On the sensor settings menu in the Bluetooth Smart Fitness app.
Boom. All right, so we're gonna zoom this back out a little bit. We'll see both of.
That's when I look up Smart Fitness app, Peloton.
Yeah, so like it's gonna. So that means it can also sync up to like Strava, the LOF app.
Oh, Strava, I have Strava.
Yeah, so you can sync it up to Strava, and then that'll automatically sync with LOF too. Yeah, you can sync it up to that too. Yeah. So that's the cool thing. So it can sync up to our apps, and then again, we can use that information to say like, all right, how much is my body working right now? So you can wear that on your arm. If you wear like a long rash guard, you could probably get away with wearing that during jiu-jitsu. I don't know though, because like especially overhooks might be tricky, like under an overhook. Striking wise, I think it would do good too. What do you think, Christian?
Striking might be easier.
Yeah.
How about that one?
I can feel.
Kicks the crap out of it.
Yeah, that's the only thing. So you might want to make the like technical. Yeah, exactly. Like just turn it to the inside so it's not as vulnerable.
This one just tells me instructions to go and that. See what's going on here. Open Rhythm Sync app for the iPhone.
Oh, yours has.
Oh, thanks, Chris. We got all the lights going down. So, all right, guys, and then this is one thing I want to take as an opportunity while we're getting these set up. Also, I'm going to shout out Ticino sending us this sampler pack real quick. I'm going to shout them out. And also, just remind you guys, so this is like the test run of our first kind of podcast coming back. So what we're doing, guys, is we're going to be running the LOF podcast again. And let's bring it back over here. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get it locked in. Boom. Perfect. Lock it back out. Perfect. So we got shout out to Ticino. This is another one I wanted to highlight. They sent me an amazing kind of care package. We've got their tea sampler. So we've got everything from the Trimella Tulsi, the Turkey Tail Astragalus, the Chaga Ashwagandha, reishi, lion's mane, rhodiola. That's like serious focus right there. I can tell you right off just from the name. Cordyceps and Schisandra. Cordyceps, again, great cognitive focus. These are just different teas like that you can mix in. So they sent me this whole care package. They sent this sampler. They sent a second sampler. They also sent out, they have mushroom coffee. We got the mushroom herbal coffee blend. So again, I'm saying all this just to share them, shout them out, and I'm really excited. We're gonna be doing a bunch of content also. Just now that we're in the new office, the sound is so much better in this room. Oh, nice. That's good to know too. Thank you. So we're in the new LOF office and just like specifically set it up for streaming.
Yeah.
Right? So now we'll have all these like cool, like again, we have the coach's coffee corner. This is gonna be my corner where I'm streaming from. We're gonna have our coffee and tea and herbal options, I think for now. Ooh, we got 500 likes. What's up? Thank you, Chris. And whoever else is smashing the like. I bet you it's probably just Chris like going ham right now. Get after it, dude. But I appreciate it nonetheless. So I just wanted to highlight that really quick. And then also we have the Umami Bento lunchbox, which I have. If you guys want to wait a minute, I'm going to go over to our closet. And I'm super excited about how this is set up because now I have a nice little like storage closet that I can just grab things when I want to. Like we were talking about, Christian, right? You just go in, grab what we need. Boom, I come back over here. I can just got my nice little storage closet set. And I'm technically I could probably even do live streams in there. I would like soundproof it out and get a really tight camera shot, but so I might set up a backup camera in there when I go in there to have it cut to me while I'm in there and then come back. Yeah, you know what I mean? Or like the camera set up in the bathroom. So if I have, cause I have like shaving kits now, like I got a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah. So guys, just any feedback you guys have, what we're thinking about is getting like 4 or 5 cameras just to get every angle of this room and having it all really well set up.
70 feet per minute.
Boom. All right. So Noah's got his set up. So we're going to get into that in a moment. But first we're going to unbox the Umami Bento box. Now I wanted to bring this because I'm at the office and this is specifically for adults. And when I think of an Umami box, I think about my kids, honestly, because we actually have a box for them, like a bento box, to bring lunch to school. Now, the cool thing is, like, I can take my little snacky foods over here, and it's like, I don't know, I like the packaging. Now, this is the first time I'm opening it, clearly, so. Got our top part. Ooh, look at that fancy little silverware. Feels fresh, cool. So I was even thinking, I'm like, man, if I bring yogurt in here, so I'm just going to keep this, honestly, here to help me pack my lunches and bring my lunches in. I'll take the top part out so I can throw a little like, ooh, I don't even know what's up with that. Maybe that's like salt and pepper. I don't even know what's going on here. What is going on here? That's cool. So you got like little, if you want to bring condiments or seasoning or things like that. Nice little divider as well to help separate. And that's our first kind of compartment. Then we have our second compartment, again, where you want to throw a separate section of food. So this is honestly going to be great for like little, I honestly might even use this for some like camera stuff at different times, but it'll be nice to like bring in if I have a little assortment of snacks, carrots, my food itself, adult bento box, boom, where it's at. Keep it all together, keep it all in one shot. It's got a nice little band that keeps it, as I drop it, keeps it all together and organized, because otherwise if you just have this in your car without this bento box, oh, 1,000 likes, what's up? Yeah, Chris. This will just kind of fall all over the place. So being able to have that band helping keeping it together also helps you stay organized. So I'm stoked about this one and getting that to be able to be put to good use. So that being said, I think you guys got the heart rates dialed in. At least Noah's got his set up. So you're at about 72 beats. So we really want to get you to like 100 beats. So how old are you, Noah?
Well, I'm at
25? No, how old are you?
22.
Oh, damn, I like made up your age. I was like, you're 25.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I forget how young you are. So Noah's 22. So I'm going to teach you guys a real simple formula that's one of the most basic ones we use for, you know, your heart rate in the heart rate zone. So you take the number 220 and you minus your age. So we're going to minus 220 minus 22. That's 198. Yeah, I got math skills like that off the top of my head. So 198, we want to do 50 to 60% of that. So that's basically 100 beats per minute is your goal to just get it. So if you're at 55 right now, which is great resting heart rate while we're chilling, our goal is to do something that's going to bring it up to, you know, 80 to 100 beats per minute, which is probably going to just be walking, like a decent walk. Or like, exactly, yeah. So that's actually a great tip. So let me just pull it back on you for a second.
That's interesting,
so,
especially from the heat to the cold too.
Yeah, sure. One thing I want to invite you to think about, because from my average, I checked it last time when me and Woody and Carl went to the private room. So in the public room, I feel like that's almost hotter, right? And so my heart rate gets to like 150 sometimes, 160. And then it goes to like 60 beats per minute in the cold plunge. So I'd be curious to see how that's going to change because you're going to be going to the sauna. So that's a great tidbit. So I wanted to just throw that on you. Now what we'll do is we'll throw it on Christian. Boom. Let's see if you have any, how are you doing with getting the app to start? And how'd you get that reading, by the way? Is that connected to the Strava app or the Rhythm? All right. Oh, so you did get it. Okay, cool. So there is an app actually. We did get it set up. It just took a minute, but you can also sync it to other platforms as well. All right, so let me highlight back to this. Who is this guy? Oh, that's Noah, by the way, Chris. Noah's the man. If you guys aren't following Noah already, go follow him. No, I'll plug your Instagram. Is that what you want plugged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why Caleb's always comes up early. And then Christian, I'll drop yours in there as well, so your homie Chris can make sure he's following. I'm the controller. That's why I kind of like this.
I'm like at 80, 84, 87, 88.
And just read it off to us.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to throw that in the chat. I'll throw this in the comments if you guys want to go follow Noah. Then I'm going to throw Christian's in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to bring it home. So we did our mobility. We did a little demonstration. We talked about products. Now we're going to, at the end, do a little story. This will be like the podcast part. So I'll probably have like, I'll either come sit with you guys or I'll switch over my mic. And then we'll go into like, hey, the fight coming up, how you're feeling about it, as much as you want to get into. And also, you just competed last weekend for the first time in Muay Thai, even though you already had a jiu-jitsu competition. But now we're priming you and getting you ready for fighting, like fighting. So I'd love to get your insight on how that went and why you don't eat clean year round and you don't listen. Like, figure that out. No, just put them on the spot, man. Mike.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good.
Especially in a public manner. It's just part of the funsies.
Can't
Can't hide, baby.
Right, you gotta eat them cauliflower pieces.
Like, can you put the, yeah. So Chris says it. Yeah, and dude, cauliflower pizza is legit, man.
Yeah, they want me to do a PKB in September 16th.
Yeah, the one I want.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I was talking to, we'll have a different conversation off the air, but I'm gonna be cornering on the 16th and the 15th. So I'm gonna go up and support Deuce and the guys, whatever they need me to do. And I'm gonna bounce over to Winston-Salem. So like, originally I was gonna go just to watch you fight, but we're gonna have guys fighting apparently. And there's the PKB, so I'm gonna do both.
There's gonna be a lot of people.
So yeah, so I'm gonna be there for
I
that.
think Yaros is fighting again. Yaros.
Shout out Yaros. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you this mic, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my screen on, but it's gonna be just black, and we're just gonna use that for just so I can have the audio for the podcast. Because
Should I clip it on my shirt?
yeah, sure, it's fine, whatever works for you. I just do the hat. We'll pop this in. Boom, boom.
So you guys are gonna see just a straight up black screen. That is me because I don't have my other camera fully dialed in. I'm having some technical issues here, but I always got my backup ready to go. So I'm curious, let's see how this audio sounds. Here, Noah, can you talk?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, actually, so that sounds good. Yeah,
Okay.
major.
Echo.
How about now? Try it now.
All right. What? Like, still echoing?
How about now? So that's actually better. Wait, say it again. But now you're distant. All right, so you know what? We're gonna try it. I'm gonna push. Thanks, Rising Sun. So we're just playing with some of the audio stuff. Say it again. So like Noah and Christian, both just say something. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have you guys just scooch out a little bit. So it's like if I just have this mic on, I think it'll be okay. Or you know what? Honestly, I'll probably pull this one off and just keep that one on. You guys get closer.
Get closer.
Yeah, just get your butt scooped down. So now I'm gonna sound echoey, but
Those days are over. Those days are over.
Alright, that is gonna just. So again, you guys get to test out a lot of stuff with me here, so I appreciate it. Honestly, dude, this audio is gonna sound so bad, it's not even worth doing.
Even with this?
It's not even worth having a conversation, yeah, like that.
Really? You can't hear me?
What? Because then if I wear it, they're not gonna hear you guys. It's like,
Is it because you have that hooked up too? Why is it gonna sound off?
this is hooked up to this. It's just the positioning of it, like that one's meant to be like on someone, and as you move it cancels out the background noise. So even though I can hear myself, it's echoey. Versus if I have this mic on, I can hear it, but you guys don't sound echoey because you're too close. Actually, let's
try it, yeah.
try this.
Add this one in. So I think I'll sound okay. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, now you guys talk.
Hello.
Okay, word. That's actually good. So we're gonna bring it back though. I'm just gonna go over here. Boom, because I'll let Christian and Noah sleep. Man, are you doing clamshells?
I am, yeah.
Okay, clamshells. All right, you know what, guys? We're actually going to save this. So that's much clearer. Yeah, that sounds better, right? All right, this is good to know, but like I think we might actually cap it here, and then maybe we'll do a separate audio recording for the podcast. So appreciate you guys. I'm going to take my headphones off because that's weird. It sounds so echoey. And I think I'm just gonna I didn't even get to all the products I wanted to. We want to touch on those things. This is a good test run, get an idea of it. Shout out to all the different sponsors. Thank you to you guys. I'm gonna highlight real quick, guys, one more time. The LOF Slow Cooker is the cookbook, absolutely free today for those that are watching the live stream. Now, if you're watching this in the future, you probably missed out on being able to get the live stream. So that's why I always start the live giveaway. So that's why mark the date. We're going to be recording these live. I haven't picked an exact day yet. If it's Wednesdays or Thursdays, we're experimenting with the time zones. If you guys want to vote on that, let me know. But if you're just following on our Amazon channel, then you'll always get notifications, and you can say, remind me when we're going live. But this is a test run. The month of August is literally just test running everything, guys. We're going to be putting content out, but we're test running, we're editing and sampling a bunch of stuff. So moving into the new office, getting that ran up. So appreciate you guys. Then just a real quick plug, actually, since I have it over here, that B-Moose Squat Rack pad or the barbell pad. So this is really designed for putting it on your neck and for squatting. But you could technically, I've seen people use this for when you're benching as a kind of layer, so you don't get as deep into the bench. So you're maybe like a inch and a half or inch and a quarter off. But just something cool to think about. And I'll be making some more videos on that as well. I just want to give them a quick shout out. And yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it. Christian, no, I appreciate you guys for jumping in, kicking butt, and then we're gonna figure out how we want to do this story and share for the next podcast. Later, y'all. Outro.